What I want to do in this lecture is address a problem I've now heard from 3 students, 2 using Linux, and now finally 1 using Windows 10, who say that they've installed the GIMP, started it up, and it only came with 1 window. And that, I would imagine, is the image manipulation window, the drawing window in the middle. So what I want to do is kill my own windows until I get down to just that window, and then show you how to bring them back and reinstantiate them, because it's not as simple as you might think. You actually have to take multiple menus and dock them together. Anyway, you'll see. Now, one of the things that may be difficult is that I found in the past, Camtasia, which is my screen recorder, doesn't like letting me dock windows in the GIMP. So I might need to do a quick cut, go over to the GIMP without Camtasia running and dock the window, and then cut back as if I've docked it. If you see any tricks like that, I'll let you know that they're happening, and just know that the little weirdness is because that's the best I can record. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to kill the layers window, and I'm going to kill the toolbox window. So now we're in the state that many people have reported. They start the GIMP and they just get this 1 window. Now, some have said that they've managed to find the toolbox. That's because if you come up here to Windows, which is a logical place to start searching, you can see New Toolbox. So let's go ahead and do that first. I'm going to bring up a new toolbox. Now, the last student reported that their toolbox is only 2 tools wide. And yes, it does indeed come up brand new, very narrow. But guess what? You can grab the edge. Notice when it becomes this bidirectional arrow, that means that I can stretch that particular window out to, I like, 6 tools. So 6 tools wide, and you have pretty much what I've got and have been showing on the screen. Now, what you're missing is that I put the tool options dialog down at the bottom. I dock it here, and here's where docking could get interesting because of Camtasia. Let's go ahead back to Windows, and we'll bring up this time dockable dialogs. And notice the very top one is tool options. Now, the problem is when I pick that, it doesn't pop up down here at the bottom of the toolbox where I like it. It pops up in its own window. However, within that window is a tab that says Tool Options. Now, this isn't actually the Tool Options window. It's a window that can contain many tabs, the one that's currently selected being Tool Options. Now, what I can do is I can grab this and start dragging it. And you see what's not highlighting is that this area should become blue as I drag tool options over it. And when I release it, it actually becomes part of the tool options down there. So I'm going to have to do a quick cut here and an edit. And what I did after a quick cut was I managed to drag my tool option tab down here to the bottom of the toolbox. Now, in reality, you can drag many tabs here. So everything that you can bring up via dockable dialogs, you can pull down into a tab down here in the bottom of the toolbox. It is traditional to show the tool options tab down here, and I like to stretch it out far enough that I don't have to scroll left or right or up or down. On my biggest option, there we go. So we pull the edge. Oh, I'm sorry, I stretched it out too wide. We want to be 6 wide, and that forces me to be, about that tall to get all the options in there. Now, the next one is the layers window, and it really isn't the layers window, you can see. Because remember, this was the tool options window. It's not really that. So if I go to Windows and I say dockable dialogs, I can bring up the layers dockable dialog, and it will throw it into a window and call that window layers because the layer tab is selected. However, I'd like to have more than 1 tab in there. So that's the first one, the layers tab. Next, we go to Windows dockable dialogs, and I bring up the paths tab. Now, this is once again one of those things where I'm going to have to break in the middle of Camtasia and edit together, because if I drag the paths tab over here to where I want it up here in the menu, it will not connect. Now here we are back again, and I've taken the interrupt, that opportunity to interrupt, to dock actually 3 tabs up here. And you can see that they're showing as tabs because this window is so narrow. If I make it wider, the words show up. And we have the Layers tab, the Path tab, and the Undo History tab. These are the 3 that I use. By default, there's also Channels tab up here that I never use. So I've always wanted to remove it. Why add it? If you want to be complete, add the Channels tab. And by the way, you can drag these tabs around any way you want. Oh, I just undid that. Put it onto its own tab. Okay, we didn't want to do that. To get that back in there, I've got to actually cut the video to drag the tab back over there again. But that's how to build up these windows if they're missing. And if you somehow mess up and kill a window, this is the way you build the standard GIMP window environment. I hope this helps.